We put together a really unique writer's room where we had diverse voices with very different opinions about Star Wars. We're a group of heroes that will expand over time.
We all love Star Wars, but we're all coming in from very different places.
Our main villain are the group called the Nile. We kind of like to refer to them as space Vikings.
This is a very free environment for everybody to just throw things out there.
With you, but we can take it from you.
We've all done lots of storytelling, but this is unique.
Our story starts with what we're calling the Great Disaster. The Great Disaster. The Great Disaster. The Great Disaster.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Oh! Oh, beautiful!
Negative. We have a reactor leak here now. Give us a few minutes to lock it down. Large leak, very dangerous.
We put together a really unique writer's room where we had diverse voices with very different opinions.
Boring conversation anyway. Look, we're gonna have company!
We all love Star Wars, but we're all coming in from very different places.
That's not how the Force works.
The cool thing about this is that there's going to be a story for every Star Wars fan. It's really fun to be able to keep readers on their toes. This era is ripe for storytelling. The eureka moment was the question, what scares the Jedi? And that made us all go, ooh, something wicked this way comes.
Gonna have to put my glasses on for this one, boys. Well, the big news is a huge push announced in the Star Wars universe, as if the expanded universe never existed, but that's neither here nor there, called the High Republic, which exists in a way of saying golden age of the Jedi. And they've talked about this, I think. Project Luminous was mentioned a few months back. I think, was it November or something like that? It's a big full court press on a wide variety of new lore and new books. And I think it's ultimately a good thing. Look, if you like Star Wars, you want more Star Wars. And the number of options that Disney is going to go through here means you'll probably find at least something you like. Now, there's obviously one major concern, which we're going to get into here, but I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going on with it and what to expect. So, Star Wars: The High Republic is a new series of books and comics about the golden age of the Jedi. I think is 200 years before The Phantom Menace. As the company press release notes, quote, "This period on the Star Wars timeline will not overlap any of the filmed features or series currently planned for production, meaning that the Star Wars High Republic will be limited largely to print stories for now, not the next big budget Star Wars movie or Disney Plus show. Still, if the stories do well and resonate well with fans, there's no reason to assume that the High Republic era won't make its jump to film at some point down the line." Well, of course, right? You use books as a testing ground, and if they sell well, now you know you could put the money into mid-scale budget, something like The Mandalorian, which has been a great success so far, before moving it to the big screen. My one biggest fear for The Mandalorian is that they're going to try to jump ahead too far and cram it onto the big screen without understanding that. I think it's perfectly fit for streaming the way it is, but that's neither here nor there. Now, ultimately, if you're going to keep doing Star Wars and you're Disney, you're going to keep doing it, you need to generate new lore. You need to generate new stories. And there's also a significant pressure from the fandom for new material. It's interesting to me, though, because the Star Wars world is so gigantic that maybe it doesn't apply as evenly, but books and comic books are just not a popular medium at all anymore. And it feels weird to use them as a testing ground to see what people like. I wish there was a better way, maybe a YouTube animated series or something like that in the middle. I don't know, but it feels like comic books and stuff like that aren't going to be a great way to test. But nonetheless, to start, Lucasfilm has announced 5 new titles spanning the entire Star Wars publishing empire, including Star Wars: A High Republic, Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. That's for adults. Then you've got the High Republic Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. That's YA. Then you've got A Test of Courage by Justina Ireland. That's middle grade novel. The High Republic Adventures by Daniel Jose Alder. Comic book series from IDW. Great. So you know that's going to fail. And then if you got Star Wars: The High Republic, just period, by Cavern Scott, a comic book series from Marvel. Now, of these, your best chance, I think, as a fandom is going to be the Marvel comic book series, and maybe the Republic Light of the Jedi. You know, ultimately, there's a lot of good Star Wars books out there. They go on to say, "We are excited to be opening up such a rich, fertile area for our authors to explore," commented Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. "We'll get to see the Jedi in their prime." Now, that's all well and good. And as long as Kathleen Kennedy keeps her hands off it. But I'll just throw this out there. This is a convenient pause. So I don't know how much of this would be claimed, so I'm just going to skip around. But interestingly enough, they do kind of have, this is their big opener. Why they put it in gaming, I don't know, but it's currently number 12. You have some little, you know, images and stuff like that. And it's just basically a press release. And they make such a huge deal of the fact that they all met at George Lucas's Skywalker Ranch. And therefore, that's supposed to be, I don't know, good? I don't know. I'm not going to say anything in particular here about how people look. I'm just going to rely on people, you know, like that I know how they are. For example, like Pablo Hidalgo, things like that. We know that a lot of these folks are more concerned with, you know, diversity and agenda than they are stories and character building. But ultimately, you have 50,000 upvotes to 3,800 downvotes. Pretty well received. And that's a good thing. Again, we're not to my concern yet. We've got kind of your stereotypical people that I would assume are going to be talking about social issues. However, now we see a lot of storyboarding, and they act like they invented storyboarding for Star Wars. Well, they didn't. In fact, they've done it before in Star Wars, not just in this situation, but also with the expanding universe. And they talk about what they think the Jedis are going to be like in a peacetime, and that they're going to put more into being like bounty hunters or Texas Rangers, and that the new enemies they have are more like Vikings, who have the weird cringe motto, "You can't take..." This is what they said. They said their motto is, "You can't take it with you, but we can take it from you." What? That doesn't even make sense. But if you sort by, you know, top comments on YouTube, you know, for everyone asking, the period of Star Wars timeline will not overlap with any of the film features. Disney Star Wars, everything the fans want, except it's completely different. Fans, so we get an Old Republic movie series. Lucasfilm, yes and no. Everyone, is this a movie, a game, a show? Them, yes. You know, should have called it Star Wars Old but Newer than the Old Republic. I don't know why, but I see them having a decent amount of Mandalorians. I mean, you have, you know, the thing, but now we're going to get to the most important thing, and that is we're going to peer into the minds. We're going to peer into the minds of the writers, and we're going to get into my major concern here. You can see the replies. They're generally good, you know. Star Wars, hundreds of years before the Skywalker saga, the Galactic Republic is at its heights, protected by Jedi Knights, guardians of peace and justice throughout the galaxy. You can see, as a real Star Wars fan who had his childhood ruined by The Last Jedi, I will be boycotting this. Just give us the Old Republic already. Fans, why doesn't Star Wars explore new things? Star Wars explores new things. Fans asked, who asked for this? I mean, that's any large fandom. Please keep Kathleen Kennedy far away from this as possible. 700 likes on that. People in general just don't care for Kathleen Kennedy. But then we get to where the writers' minds are at here. This is a whiteboard where they were all these bold, stunning, and brave writers were in a room. And pretty interesting stuff. So we've got across the top fiction, Star Wars, and Star Wars wishes. There's good things and bad things. Anytime you whiteboard something or you're just spitballing, you're going to have good ideas and you're going to have bad ideas. But what I do think is interesting is the sheer amount of just bad ideas in here. First, you've got, authentically lived in. Great. Surprise. Great. Diversity. Again, diversity is not a bad thing, but it's also not something that I think needs to be at the forefront of your thought. It should occur naturally, and we're not even done yet. But here's the thing. Here, let me give you a thought experiment here. So have you ever been talking to somebody and they're like, I really wanted to see this movie, but there aren't enough people that look like me in it. Has anyone said that in your entire life? I know you've answered no, because these people don't exist. Maybe in the Hollywood bubble, maybe on the coasts. I don't know. I, in my entire life, have never, ever, ever heard a person say, well, there aren't enough people in there that are heteros, so I'm not going to see that film. So who are these people? Then they have actual ending. You had to actually put that on the board. Feelings, relatable characters, something like that's obviously good. Sweeping and epic, good. Humor, good. Then you have Star Wars, heart. What we love about Star Wars, I'm assuming that means not pro-war. It's in the title. The title is 2 words, and one of them is war. Then you have droids, scope, mythic, space and lightsaber battles, no single main character, the Force. These must be just things that they like about it. That's the first thing somebody said. That's what's interesting to me is like diversity is the third thing someone said in this room. Not pro-war is the very first thing that somebody said in this room. What type of person do you think would say that? And then we get to Star Wars wishes, which, oh my God. High Republic, yes, okay. Well, we already know that exists. Relic Hunters seems cool. University. Oh, okay. And then we have dinosaurs. Not just dinosaurs. This is the only thing with an exclamation point on it. Dinosaurs, exclamation point. That's what everyone loves. They're trying to capitalize on that huge Jurassic Park fandom. Why not just merge the Disney franchises here? Why not also have toys that come to life in this film? I mean, why not? Or in these books. Dinosaurs. Then after dinosaurs, we have, obviously, representation and diversity.
A part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take it away.
I'm going to guess that, this is a short list. Arthurian legends, rival houses, Sith Empire, Chaos Agents. So you have a bunch of things that seem to fit, and then you've got dinosaurs, and then you've got representation and diversity. Star Wars is as diverse as it's ever been. In fact, the show's pretty much always been pretty diverse. The idea that it's just, you just know where these books are going to go when you put these type of people in a room. I mean, I'm happy for you Star Wars fans, seriously, that you get new, exciting content, and I hope it's not woke trash. But, when we're focusing on stuff like that, and you have great catchphrases like, you can't take it with you, but we can take it. I'm not exactly sure you're going to be getting high-quality stuff from the High Republic, but Maybe I'll be wrong. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.